Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is episode 5 of Meatsweats and Menopause, and I'm Joe Gleason, the Midwestern man, and with me is my co-host, girlfriend and partner, the beautiful Kirsty the Brit chick, and welcome to episode 5. I say, welcome to episode 5.
Just say something. I was just letting you rip here.
That's all I got. Yes.
Hello. We already have somebody here. Who do we have? My love yogi, Darla. Right. Hi, Darla. How's it going? Good to see you again.
Hello. Well, how is it in Michigan? Are you guys a little warmer than last time? I think a couple of weeks ago, you guys were in the deep freeze.
Yeah, we got, it's pretty cold here right now. I mean, it's not cold, but I mean, it's like raining. It's not like hot, sunny desert. It's interesting, the weather right now.
We actually, and this is kind of off script. We hadn't really planned to talk about this, but we had like a microburst or something go through here. We had like a tornado or a little mini tornado that apparently only hit our backyard because two big, the lemon tree and then one big branch off of our other, whatever that willow type tree is, broke. So I guess we're going to be having some backyard fires here pretty soon, huh?
Well, 6 foot square in our yard. I mean, it wasn't anywhere. It was really crazy. I can't, this is how old we are. We're talking about weather and trees. So that says a lot. But yeah, after I saw the trees all down in the backyard, I went for a walk around the neighborhood because I was like, this is crazy. And there was nothing anywhere. Nothing was down at all except for 6 foot square in our backyard and 2 huge trees down. So very strange things happening right now. I'm not sure what that was all about. So
yeah, that's the just the randomness of Arizona weather. Like it's 80 degrees and warm and beautiful, and then the next day we have downed trees. So I guess we are getting older. We're gonna be talking about like our physical ailments and stuff. You know, like it's what old people do, right? Like weather and physical ailments, like
the condition of our stomach and our stools and what's going on, what we've been eating, what vitamins we're taking, what medications we're on. I do notice that around friends, like just recently, I'm hearing everybody talking about the medications they're on. I'm like, oh my God, like, are we here already? I mean, I'm not into all of that.
Some of us, like, I think some people are. Wild. Yeah. That was going to be part of, I think we had that from last week, right? Where we were looking at some of that kind of stuff, like pharmaceutical versus holistic. I'm not sure if we want to talk about that. So Darla, I don't even know what this is. Sorry, my ADD. I'm invested in the Nancy case. I'm not really a big like current events, like in terms of like news. I don't pay a ton of attention to that stuff. Is this the mother of the broadcaster? Is that the case?
That's all I know. My aunt was actually she's out in South Carolina. I don't know if she's watching or not, but she was like, "Oh, what's happening? What are you guys?" And I was like, "I have no clue what you're talking about." So it was a newscaster, right? And we don't watch the news or television really, so we didn't really know who it was. But my only understanding is that it's her mother has been kidnapped and there's a ransom, and it's happening in Arizona. And I don't know. That's as much as I know.
Yeah,
it's a big false flag thing or what?
I heard a little bit of people talking about this a couple of nights ago, and just some friends that were together, and it was something like they saw somebody like on the Ring camera or something, like where like there was like somebody that came to the door or something. Again, I'm completely ignorant. I wish I could speak to this because I would love to be able to have a conversation, kind of discuss the merits of the conspiracy of it, because I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I unfortunately have not tuned into this. But I assume they haven't found the missing lady? Is that part of it?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I guess. Yeah. Darla's saying she's still there, like figuring out to see what's going to happen. So I guess we don't know. So if anybody does know, fill it in the comments. Post it. Maybe we'll learn as we go along. There's a lot happening right now, isn't there, everywhere? And quite frankly, I'm very aware that it's all out there because I see it all over my social media. I don't really tune in. I don't watch the news personally. So I'm not updated. I just see things through my social media feed, which is very carefully curated because I only look at things I want to look at. And the news isn't one of them. But yeah, I mean, even that, it's just still things are flying through. I tend to, try and stay away from all of that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? We've got 3 people in the room right now, so I can't see who they are. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what's happening in the news? There's tons of stuff, right? We've got crazy weather. There's the Epstein files. There's this Nancy case. We've got shootings going on in Canada. I mean, that's all the alarmist stuff that's happening. So yeah, interested in what you.
And that's not even the ICE stuff too. We've got all that stuff going on, which could be, that's such a complicated situation. Well, for me, it's complicated. I see some of the merits of both sides, but what are we touching? What do we want to? How far down the rabbit holes do we go? We've got a lot of potential with all of that. But what say you? We were going to talk about favorite travel destinations, and we've already gone this direction, huh?
we know, just whatever comes up, we just go with it, right? What were some of the topics that we had to bring up if nobody else had a better thing to talk about? Because that's the whole point of this, right? Is that it's live, it's improv, it's whatever happens, we'll just go with it. So if anyone's got comments or things they want to talk about or they want to bring up a subject, then just type it in there and we will react to it and bring it up as a comment. As a topic, sorry. But if not, I mean, some of the things we were looking at. So rolling over from last week, we got into the conversation of it was right at the end as we were about to go out and all these comments started filing up and we're like, damn it, this is a really good topic. But the ultimate thing in it was who is responsible for your healing and what is your government's role in your health and wellness? And so we were kind of going to look at all of that. I know how we feel about it, but it'd be good to have people on the other side of it. Otherwise it'd just be us preaching.
Yeah, and part of that is that you've got the perspective as a European and as a person from England who then emigrated to Canada, and all of those all of the kind of the healthcare there, and then now you've been traveling here, and we've been to Mexico, and so you've gotten a lot of perspective on all of the different philosophies and solutions to those situations, and so it is kind of an interesting observation or perspective that you have, because a lot of times when you're like, for me, I've only ever lived in the US, and I haven't experienced other healthcare programs or whose responsibility is it. I personally think I want to be as proactive and as and in charge of my own healthcare as I can be, and really use and I guess this is also Western medicine versus Eastern medicine and some of that stuff. I find all that stuff to be really fascinating.
I think what was interesting is I'm English. That's where I was born, and when I was around 30, I moved to Canada, and for like 23 years. So I kind of lived half my life in each, and they were both free healthcare countries, but they had very differing opinions. And then obviously, I'm here some of the time too, where you don't have free healthcare. And to me, what's really interesting is in England, you had 2 streams. You had the government healthcare, the free healthcare. Well, free, you're paying for it with your taxes. You're always paying somewhere, but accessible to everybody. You're not paying extra, I would guess, except from your taxes. Is that you had a free healthcare system that was obviously overwhelmed, and you had the option to have private healthcare too. And most people that have, that are employed with big companies get their healthcare included in their packages. So they had access to private healthcare, which I did too. It was brilliant. Little tidbit, unknown to me at the time, because this was way back, like many years ago. But I ended up having to have an emergency surgery, and then I was referred, and I ended up with a doctor on Harley Street who ended up actually being the gynecologist for the Queen and for Princess Diana and for Princess Kate. So that's That's what happens when you pay for your healthcare. That was it was like a world famous surgeon who was on the news as well. He was again, if you're English, you would know all of this stuff. If you remember Suzanne Dando, who was an investigative journalist, she was very well known on the television, and she was engaged to this doctor, and he ended up being my doctor. So no choice of my own. It's just what happens when you're in the private healthcare system. So
there's probably some sophomore jokes in there, like hoorah for your hoo-ha or something like that. Like I don't know.
Totally.
And now we're down to no viewers. All right, great. Yeah. Right, no, that's interesting.
But yeah, so I mean, the thing was, it was like it wasn't looked down upon to have private healthcare, which when you go to Canada, it is, because people get the way of thinking there is more, why should people have private healthcare? Everybody should have access to it. And it's like, what are you missing here? Everyone does have access to it. But what happens is my little phrase of you pay, you say, if you can afford to have private healthcare, either because it's through your job or you just earn enough that you can pay for your own private healthcare schemes, then what you're doing is unburdening the system that is available for everyone. So if you're waiting for 3 years to have an operation in the public healthcare system, if you've got half the people that can afford it to pay and go and get their own, well, now you've released the burden. So you're not going to have a 3-year wait. You're going to have a 2-year wait or a 1-year wait. So that's a good thing. If people can afford to pay for their own, let them. Like, I don't see what the problem is. But the view in Canada is very, I would say it's probably very left-leaning, which is that everybody should have access to everything. It should be the same. Nobody should have priority, but they're paying for that priority. Like, that's the whole point. So if you can afford it, yes, you're going to get better services, but you are paying a lot of money for it, but you can. So it creates space for the people that can't afford it, so that it's actually less unburdened. And that's what's really interesting to me, is that the mentality in Canada is that people don't see that. They keep campaigning that everything should be free, but they don't see
it's not free. I mean, if you compare tax rates, it's not free. It's just everyone gets it because everyone pays higher taxes. And so
taxes are huge in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, our federal income tax rate versus yours, and I didn't look it up, but I know it's significantly higher, even for our highest tax brackets. Is kind of where your lower ones weigh in. So it's not free, and then there's the quality of care too. And there's a lot of Canadians that have come here, so it's not so much about even just the sort of Western medicine. I mean, I think I'm very intrigued by a lot of the holistic approaches, and what and I like Darla's comment here about taking magnesium. I take it to help sleep, is my understanding, and I know it's for a lot of other good things too. But yeah, that's, I think, being proactive and trying to prevent getting yourself in a situation is probably is a great way to go. So I love holistic. I've worked with your holistic person that you had in Canada, and gotten some great tidbits on just things you can do that aren't prescriptions. They don't have side effects. It's just, to me, the earth has a lot of the solutions for what we need, and that's what I really like. So yes on the magnesium, and even just going out and getting sunlight. People going and getting into the sun. There's a lot of modalities from 100 years ago, were basically just even stuff like linen sheets and being out in the sunshine and all this kind of stuff. It's just the frequency and the healing benefits of these things are significant. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. They've been sort of lost and forgotten and not, allowed. Big pharma. So, there's no money in the body healing itself and people being healthy. The money is when people are sick and when they're sort of just on the big pharma wheel, right? So
well, I think that's the biggest difference I notice, like, coming here in the States, is like the television adverts that come on is insane. I've never seen anything like it. It's just not like that in Europe or in Canada. And I wonder if that is because there is free healthcare where people aren't buying those meds, because most people would be looking to have the generic brands because what they do have sort of like covers that. But like here in the US, it's like every single other advert on the television is, take this and this new medicine or whatever. And it's like, it's just constantly brainwashing you, along with all the side effects. You're taking a pill for depression, but the side effects are, you might have suicidal thoughts, you might get depressed, you're going to get fat, you're going to have like stomach ulcers, you might get cancer. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, what?
Right.
And it's so blatant.
It's like one thing begets another, right?
Right. And people are still doing this and paying the money for it. And it's wild. Like you do get adverts in other places, in the UK and Canada for that, but it's not like every other advert, and it's not so blatant. Like it's really not pushed down your throat like it is here. So that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, and then to me, the things that make me go as the old Gen X saying was, things that make you go is that, like, for a lot of these things that you can't sue the big pharma companies. So like if you do have like, hey, I have suicidal thoughts, and God forbid somebody does something and takes action on that, there's no recourse for anyone. Like, or if the medication causes problems, like they just keep on keeping on, and there's no there's no recourse. So that to me is like that's just where the system, I think, could be looked at. This is pretty exciting talk, huh? You feeling the feels? I feel like this is I think the HSA, Christian, I don't know if you are familiar with those. That's a health savings account, and you can put money into it, and then you can use that account for a lot of medical uses, but not everything is approved. And so what Darla's saying is we should be able to use our own money and have, because there's tax advantages and some write-offs and such, but you should be able to use those for whatever you see as your healthcare plan. And I totally agree with that.
Well, that's actually interesting you say that, because we've talked about this before in terms, I had a healthcare, I don't have it anymore, but I had a policy for, I guess it was like a disability health insurance, like if you got some life-threatening disease, like let's say you found out you had stage 4 cancer or something like that, then the policy would kick in so that you don't have to work for, a year, and that you've got like this policy that will pay for all of the costs of, getting you better or whatever. But what I didn't realize, which is why I don't have this policy anymore, is that I know somebody that actually had to use that. That's what happened to them. And they believed in the whole holistic side of things. So they didn't want to go down like the chemo route and all of those drugs. They were more interested in the holistic look. So they were looking at the CBD way, and like meditation,
ivermectin or whatever.
All of the different alternative medicines for it was a whole different philosophy on what cancer is, and people have been cured and everything. But that policy didn't allow them. It didn't cover any of those things. The policy was literally there only if you use their doctors that they are recommending, which obviously are going to be because isn't it funny how the people that own the drugs, own the hospitals, own the insurance policies, like, and this is where we got into it the last talk that we had on the last show, which was about the corruption side of things, which is the people that own all of it are all connected, because it all just keeps the program going. And so when I found that out, I was like, that's awful. So I'd been paying this policy for years and years and years, and God forbid I never have to use it, but if I did, none of it would work anyway, because they wouldn't allow me to use I wouldn't be allowed to have my choice of my treatment. It has to be what the insurance policy says. So there's a lot in there too. Like that's a big, huge topic.
And then this, to Dan's point here, about the side effects of, I'm mind blanking on that drug that it's getting a bunch of press right now.
Ozempic? Ozempic, and other ones like that,
Other in that category. It's not. If you saw me, right here, you'd know that I wasn't on that. But I have not. So, but I know it's got some very severe side effects, and it's like, but then you ask, like, how do people get overweight anyway? Well, what about the food supply? And what about, there's just all these sort of like, they all connect, these dots all connect. And it's like, let's get them fat, and then let's sell them a drug, and then they get the pill, and then they take the pill. It's got side effects. We can sell them more pills. So I guess we're going down the conspiracy theory, rabbit hole today, huh?
But it's problem, reaction, solution. That's how everything is in our world these days, right? Is the problem's created, everybody reacts, and oh, look, the people that created the problem, we have the solution for you too. And unfortunately, we're in a world now where supposedly everything out there is more important than what's in here, and so everybody is obsessed by the way they look, the way they feel, the way they look to other people. And so we know that the weight loss is the cash cow, and it has so much effect on people's self-esteem. And so that's what people will believe. I mean, it's tempting. I'm not going to lie. Like when that all came out, I was kind of like, oh, I really, really struggle to lose weight. I've been up and down my whole life. It is a mega problem. And so, when someone's saying, well, you take this and it's the magic pill or whatever, if there was a pill for heartbreak, I'm sure that would go down well too. But that's the whole thing, isn't it? Is like, I've watched so many people jump onto this and then have so many issues. Same with lots of problems where suddenly the magic solution appears, right?
Yeah, everyone get your vitamin D. You should get your levels checked. So that's absolutely a good thing. Luckily, with sunny Arizona, I do on occasion take vitamin D as a supplement, but mostly just try to be outside a little bit every day, which is very cool. And I just you look at like the whole like image too that they create, going back to the whole weight loss thing. It's like 100 years ago or whenever that the artist, his last name was Rubin. I remember this in art history class.
Oh, the Rubenesque women.
Rubenesque women were, I guess what they'd be considered chunky. And even if you look at like Marilyn Monroe, who was curvy and had, a good shape, and like people by today's standards would call her fat. It's like, I mean, why have we shamed like having a little meat on your bone? Like that's, why is that so wrong? Right. Like, anyway, it's a tricky spot. It's probably trickier for women than it is for men. Guys can get away with a little bit, societally speaking.
Well, yes and no. I mean, you must have seen those videos from when people are posting, like from the 1970s. When it was like all the I've seen them, like the videos of like boys at school in gym. And they're all shirtless, but they're like climbing ropes and they're like climbing ladders, and they're doing like army training basically. And that was just standard training for boys. And so they were all like really, they all look like fitness models, and they're just regular guys at high school. And now like PE, physical education or whatever, is not a thing, but now it's the revival of the dad bod, which I know for guys your age is a relief because women are all over the dad bod. But if you think about it in terms of if you think about it in terms of health, and that's what young men are aspiring to be, they're not going to be able to protect and fight and take care of themselves and their families and so on if they're just weak, right? And that's the goal. And we've had the same with women too. I mean, women got completely beaten up with all of that. And we've gone from, when I grew up, it was the supermodels that were like Cindy Crawford and, people like that they were all tall and leggy and skinny. And now the ideal model, and then it went like in the 90s, it was like, heroin addict looking type person, like, skeletal. And then now it's, everyone has to have a big juicy butt, and so it's like, but it's just all been pushed by the media and society. And it's ultimately, it's okay to be overweight, it's okay to be chunky, it's okay to be weak, and and it's just like, this is kind of like where society's heading, right?
And one of the things for guys is testosterone levels, and a lot of that's they're saying is like from the lining of different containers and things that like just are terrible for testosterone. And if you don't have testosterone, you don't have muscle. And I wanted to talk about that too. But the low T levels is like a crisis right now with Western men, and so a lot of that is leading to less body mass and weaker men, and I'm physically weaker. We can get into the other that's another show, right? But yeah, it's an epidemic, and definitely this is where I think taking a lot of personal responsibility is first being aware of it, second being open-minded to it, and then taking action. And great point here, Darla. Kirsty and I did a 72-hour water fast a couple months ago, and we intend to do one again. We just haven't, like, sort of life has happened. But what a cool thing that was. I really it's really interesting to experience, and I found it to be as mentally challenging as it was physically challenging. And the whole, like, oh, we're taught to have 3 meals a day, and you gotta, eat. But our ancestors, they didn't have a Winco or a Safeway or a Albertsons down the street. They had they ate when they could get food, and it wasn't 3 times a day, and they were stronger and out doing physical labor and all that. And yeah, and the seed oils too. That's another whole like poison that they're giving people. What a mess. So nothing wrong with that lard we had back in the day, right?
But is it the whole? But the whole culture has changed. Like, just even having all the kid. I mean, it's like if you look at the decades, the age groups in the decades and how that is. If you think about, like, when you were, let's think, 18 to 25. Yeah, so it's back in like the 80s, right? The early 80s versus now. And we know this, like, because the young men now that are in that age group, like the 18 to 25s, there's not many of them that literally are out, like out walking or out in the wilderness or doing physical labor or anything. I mean, it's just this era of like gaming and sitting around and staying in and not going out, those kinds of things. And even just like on all the levels, like emotionally, mentally, physically. If you think about what we didn't have our own cars. Like, we would just get on our bikes and ride, or I would roller skate to someone's house. I couldn't sit on the phone all night just talking to someone because, the phone bills were expensive because you had to pay for every single
Long
minute.
distance.
And
Yeah.
right, exactly. Just because someone wasn't in your area, there was no computers, you weren't online. So it was like, if you wanted to see your friends, you had to get up and go there to their house and knock on the door, and you had to speak to their parents. And so, you'd either walk there, you'd get the bus, you'd get the train. If you were really lucky, you might have a friend who had a car who could get you a ride, or maybe your parents would take you or something. But everything was physical.
My sister's case, she had 2 older brothers that drove her around everywhere. So,
Yeah, exactly.
for those of you that were the youngest child, lucky you. But as the oldest, right? Yeah. No, for sure. And that's, so it's that there's that book, The Fourth Turning, right? Where they talk about like, and it's like these eras or these cycles where it's and I forget how many years it is at a time. I think it's like 40 years cycles. Right. And we're in the fourth turning, where it's basically it's that whole saying about easy times make weak men, and then weak men make difficult times, and all that stuff. And it speaks to that, where right now, people, to your point about society today, we've got it pretty easy. There's no major, in at least in the Western world. And I'm not saying that it's everywhere, because there's certainly, places in the US and Canada that are very difficult for people, but for the most part, as a society, we've got it pretty good. Even our poor people are better off than a lot of people in the world, right? So they don't have to worry about survival in the way that previous generations even had to, right? Like, my grandpa had an outhouse that he used, and he plowed a field behind a horse, like, manually. Like, that was as recently as my grandpa. So the physical demands on people today are, as a general rule, not like they were even 2 generations ago. Right.
But that's massive, because I think that's a lot to do with the big mental health crisis that we have right now, because as you know, like, your physical activity will affect your mental ability, and it'll keep going around, like, back and forth. And so if people aren't as physical, then they're just sitting there and their brains are just ticking over, overthinking, sitting around, doing yes, Dan, we know it's for you.
Listen, Dan, you just ran a marathon, so, like, you can brag a little. Go ahead and have your calories. So yeah,
Dan is like super in shape. He's ex-military, like super in shape guy. Doesn't have an ounce of fat on him, but just eats more than I've ever seen anybody eat, like, ever. It's insane. If I ate what Dan ate, I would be 500 pounds.
It's really a superpower, isn't it? Like, It's
Yeah.
like he turned me on to that show, that man beard versus food or whatever. And I know Katana, we were talking about that when he was here too. It's crazy the amount of food that guy eats. He's in shape. And Dan, you're right there in the team photo with that guy, because it's like, it's just really not fair to have that kind of metabolism to us slower metabolism humans. So
it's going to catch up, Dan. Wait till you're 45. It's just going to hit you one day. You're just going to wake up and go,
your eyesight's going to go to shit. You're going to get fat.
Your hair's going to fall out.
Wow.
Your teeth are going to fall out. Like,
we're really going after what Dan do to us. we're just jealous. That's all. No, seriously, he just ran a marathon last weekend, and he just watched him eat a 4-foot-long burrito. Yeah. Are you talking about beard versus? Are you talking about Dan or beard versus food, Katana? I believe
it could have been Dan. Maybe it was him. Yeah.
Or is Dan beard versus food? Anyway, yeah. No, Dan just ran a marathon, and hey, we were joking about how he's the only guy out of like over 10,000 participants that wore a weighted vest to run the marathon. So he earned it. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, and then Emily try feed him. Oh, I have.
It must be the biggest success in your household. It's Dan's
food. Right. No, for sure. That's awesome. No, but it is
to know your secrets. But to that point, like, I got carried away, so I was laughing. But the whole like, if there's no physical activity anymore because everything is so convenient, like, that's going to affect your mental health, because, as you know, obviously, like, exercise is going to affect your thinking. Like, that's what you do, right? When you're getting down in the dumps, you're not having the serotonin boost and the dopamine and everything. It's just like, you need to get out and physically move, and we just don't have that culture anymore. I mean, even me, I used to play a lot of sport, and I was training like every day for it, and that was just my lifestyle. And now I'm older and I'm not playing that sport anymore. I just feel like a big fat lard not doing anything, and it's kind of like I can feel the anxiety like buzzing in me. It's like I want to do something, but then I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. But I mean, that's what I'm older, but like the young kids are doing that right now. So if I'd have grown up like that, God knows what I would be like right now. But
yeah, I mean,
not a thing anymore.
You had 30 or 40 years of higher levels of activity. I mean, I was doing CrossFit when I was 40. I wouldn't do it now, but I was doing. I mean, I'm not like a super athlete or anything, but me and my buddies, we all met up at the local junior high parking lot where they had some basketball hoops, and we played basketball for hours, just 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 or however many guys we could get. There was always just whatever we would figure out. And we were always horsing around, like doing dumb teenager stuff, like, car tag. You guys do car tag? Where you'd like get out of a car and run and hit it, and then you drive around town. We had car tag in my hometown because there was only one police officer that was on duty at any given time. When you live in a town of 2,000 people, it's like, so you get the spotter that would be like, and we had this police officer named Slider, like, because he wore like the sunglasses, and he was like this young kind of like probably 25, 30 years old, kind of tough guy cop. We called him Slider because when he wasn't driving the police car, he had a Mustang 5.0. So we used to just go driving around town. We'd turn up our hair metal 80s music, and there'd be a couple guys in each car, and the whole thing was to like, and we would just spend hours doing that dumb shit. So kids today don't do that.
Why not?
Flashlight wars.
I mean, we just had all of our kids here. Like last week, my kids came down from Canada, and they're all hanging out and everything. They're all young people in their early 20s, and it's just everyone's just kind of sitting around like, get up, go do something. It's like, I don't know, it makes me antsy because I just when I was their age, like I couldn't imagine just sitting around doing nothing, because it just didn't even enter my head. It was like I couldn't wait to get out the house and get away from my parents, and I just wanted to be doing stuff because everything was outside. Like there was everything to do out there, and being at home that's why being grounded was a punishment, because you just didn't want to be locked in your house. Now being grounded is like, okay, big deal, cool. I just hang out in my room and just like be comfortable and talk to my friends anyway. So
it's a Wednesday. Yeah, like who cares, right? So yeah, it was. I mean, and I remember in my younger years, from about age 4 until I don't know 10, somewhere in there, I lived on a farm, and when it rained, it was like the worst, because those were the days you couldn't be outside. You had to be inside, and that's when I played video games. When the Atari 2600 came out, we had Space Invaders and Combat, Night Driver, and so we did have a little bit of video gaming, but it wasn't like how it is today. There's only so much Space Invaders you can play. Right?
Well, you can only play with you or the person sitting next to you with a controller. You couldn't play online. We didn't have the internet, so it's
lucky for me, I'm a twin.
Whoever could fit on the end of a wire.
Right. Yeah, I have a twin brother, so I always had someone to play with. It was, he was the blue tank and I was the red tank in combat, and he was the yellow ship in Space Invaders and I was the green one. These are the memories. So yeah, but no, it's true. This is hilarious. Are we gonna get our let's do our shot across the bow to the boomers?
Oh yeah.
The boomers are the ones that call the cops for everything.
Still, these are like the HOA people that have nothing better to do apart from. Let's talk about that.
The HOA. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Let's go. Let's go down that rabbit hole. And I do want to come back to the Olympics, because Darla made a comment earlier, and so did Katana. Thomas made a comment too. I want to come back down to that, because Dan's into the hockey and Olympics as well. So, but let's talk about HOAs and boomers. So that's the generation that forgot they had kids, that they had to have a commercial to remember that you 10 o'clock, go get your kids. Right. So now they're the ones that are on the HOA boards, and they're mad about a few weeds in the front yard. So it's like, you didn't care about your kids, but you care about a handful of weeds.
It's just a power trip. I think they're just bored. They had these jobs with responsibilities, and now they're retired, and they just have to show their power, still. So they want to just get caught up on the most ridiculous things that it's just not important to anybody. They're just things that piss you off. That's one of them. So power-hungry people out of principle, where I try and just let it go. I try and just laugh about it. But yeah, it's very frustrating.
So my youngest daughter parks her car on the street a lot of the time. And the other morning, there was a postcard that was pretty good size, which I did a lot of direct mail marketing in my day, like buying those things, and I think it was hand delivered, but those things aren't free. A lot of them are 50 cents to $1 each when they got the gloss and the color and all the things that this had. So let's say they're spending $1 per piece to put this note on people's car in the neighborhood that you can't park in the street. It's like, but they don't make that a universal rule. Only certain people can't park. It's a weird dynamic. And it's like, where are we supposed to park then? We don't have a 4-car garage. So and they didn't allow it. Then they did allow it. Now it's back to not being allowed. It's like, it's just stay consistent, but just to have the mindset to be like, I'm going to go walk around the neighborhood today, and I'm going to see who's parking in the street, and I've got some cards that are going to get put on some windshield wipers. It's like, I wouldn't even care. It just doesn't.
What's funny to me is that we have cops that live 4 doors down, and they never get ticketed for anything ever. Like we've had notices because our Christmas decorations were up, weren't taken down quick enough, or we had the wrong colored lights, but theirs were out into end of January. They had their stuff up, and all the cars down where we are had these little cards on, but their cars that are parked outside didn't have any. And so that's what makes me laugh. And it's nothing against the cops. They're really nice people. It's the fact that the people that are going around targeting people clearly are like, oh, well, we can't do it to the cop. Like, it's just like, oh, because you're so powerful. Like, but you can't do anything in case you get in trouble with the cops. It's like so petty. It makes me nuts.
Because I'm a Cubs fan. Yeah, I'm targeted. I feel targeted, Brad. If only I was a Tigers fan. I assume you're a Tigers fan. I know you're a Lions fan. Yeah, so I do have a Cubs like birdhouse thing out in my like sort of foyer area, and it's it probably is. They're probably profiling me, and I'm getting targeted, and they're coming after me. It's the tire that was a half inch off the concrete part of the driveway onto the gravel, because
your gravel on your house on your land, by the way.
Right. And because my daughter's previous car was a coupe and it had just a 2-door, and so it had bigger doors, and so for her to get out, I just gave her a little bit more room because of where she parked and where I parked. And it was like, it's not like off on the gravel entirely. It's like a half inch or an inch. Yeah, this is how guys, that's a half inch, right? I'm just kidding. It's like barely off the driveway. I got a notice. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, but probably because I'm a Cub fan. That's probably it. I should probably go down to that, shouldn't I? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Boomers raped and pillaged. Go ahead. Who wants to read? Go ahead.
Go on.
The boomers raped and pillaged the country financially. They've got 3 homes, 4 cars, and they're still unhappy. I've got a person in my acquaintance group. I don't want to target anyone here because I don't want to come back and bite him in the ass. Has a family member that he's got 2 kids. They struggled to not struggle, but they had to pay for healthcare and all this, not healthcare, childcare, and had to make arrangements. And there was the grandparents never watched their grandkids. They never had them over for sleepovers. They never gave them date night time. None of it. Mm-hmm. But when they were working and they were raising their kids, the grandparents who were immigrants were all about family and everything. They're like, oh, we'll watch the kids every day, so you don't have to get a sitter or a daycare deal. Anytime you guys want to go on a date night, we'll just have the kids. And it was just assumed that, and the boomers had all of this freedom, saved all this money from daycare, and also benefited from a stronger dollar, cheaper cost of going to college, cheaper cost of everything, cars, everything, all of it. So. And then when they became grandparents, did they pay it forward and say, you know what, this is the benefit that I got? No. They said, screw you. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm retired. I've got life to go live. It was like, oh man, it's just, it's just a weird paradigm shift. And it's not all boomers, but there's a lot of them that are so egocentric, mm-hmm. And they only think about them and they don't think about the benefits they got. This is definitely its own show, like the Gen X rant, right?
Oh, it really is. Because that whole that boomer age group. I mean, that's when divorce became a thing. It just blew up, right? Because mm-hmm. I'm guessing it was after the swinging 60s and the wild.
That was them too.
Hippie 70s. Well, that was them, but that's what I'm saying. That's the reason that all the divorces happened. But we were the children of those divorces. Therapy was never a thing. That was just for crazy people that go into the lunatic asylum. So that's never heard of. But we're the ones that just kind of just were messed up because of it. And so then it's our generation that have just been struggling trying to put that together. We weren't allowed to cry or be off school because of mental health days and shit like that.
No,
we just had to figure it out. There was no diagnosis of any conditions, all the things that we have now, all the spectrum disorders,
traumas,
the ADHD and the OCDs and the autism and all of those things that everybody is, I'm not poo-pooing it because we all fucking have it, right? Because we didn't know we have it because we're only seeing it in our kids and going, oh, good, what's happening? And it's we've been behaving like that the whole time, but never had any help. We just had to freaking do it all. And then
I was just gonna say, when like if we cried about anything, like, oh, I, hit my finger with a hammer, and you legitimately have some pretty significant pain and it hurts, and your like fingers all turning purple and throbbing, and you get told, shut up and stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. It's like, I guess I feel dismissed. Yeah. I'm not just being making the shit up. There was all a thing, but
this is our therapy. This is why we had to come on and do a podcast about it.
Yeah,
we never got hurt. So
that's right.
Now we're going to talk about it.
So thanks to everyone who's tuning in, because this is our personal therapy couch, right? So
all the therapy we never got.
Right. Yeah. I want to, in the last few minutes here, I do want to bring this up because it's current events, and I think there's enough people that have been on and commenting that would have some thoughts on this. And so Katana, who's a Canadian, Thomas, is a huge Canadian Team Canada fan. And Darla is her. I didn't know this, Darla. How cool is this? Let me find the comment. Is family and cousins with the Team USA goalie, and so we got some. It looks like with the way things are sort of set up, that Team Canada could play Team USA, and hopefully it does happen. Dan, I know you're a big Olympics person too. I never knew anyone that liked curling before I met Dan, and not like, oh, it's cool. He loves it. Like, I never even heard of it. So we can get into that too. But I wanted to talk about Team USA and Team Canada and what looks like it could be an impending meetup for the gold. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Hockey. Yeah, it's for hockey.
For hockey, okay. Yeah, I sports is not my strong suit.
You're a Canadian.
I don't care. I'm sure if we have a match, yes, I will watch it, and just to laugh at you, I guess, and just it'll be our what do you call it? Not battling against each other. I can't think of the word. My brain. This is the brain fog of my age, and hormones have not been able to remember what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I couldn't give a shit about sports. I really couldn't. I'd rather play it. I'd rather play sport than watch it.
But yeah, and I get that. And I like playing sports too. But I love the nationalism and how the world comes together for the Olympics, and it's just cool to see like the different just different cultures and stuff. So I don't really get into the Winter Olympics as much as I'm not a huge Olympics person, period, but I get into like my favorite sort of global sporting thing is the World Baseball Classic, because I love baseball. But I've gotten into these Winter Olympics more than I probably have any Winter Olympics that I can remember. So
tell everyone you're watching, or you were amazed by that you didn't want to admit.
All right. So the other night, I don't even know who. I think it was just on. We put like, hey, let's just put something on. And there was that kid that's like the figure skater. And I'm like, I've always kind of laughed at and poo-pooed figure skating, like really, because I just, whatever. It's the outfits. They're ridiculous. I mean, like if they were wearing like cool, like, army fatigues or something, I might be more, I don't know. They look ridiculous to me. And so
they're very feminine.
Well, I mean, but this kid did like this flip and like spun around and then landed on one skate. I'm like, what the hell was that? It was crazy. Like, even though it's not my thing, I can certainly appreciate the talent and the hard work and the dedication that, and the hours and hours of ice time that would have gone into that. But, and Brad, I'm sorry. I wish I'd have known this sooner. I didn't realize the curling is as good. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that you were a huge curling fan. I met you years ago. So why'd you hold out on me, man?
So the people on here that love the curling, have you ever done curling yourself, or you just like to watch it? I did curling once. It was for a what do you call it? Bachelorette party. We were all dressed up in 80s gear and all went curling. I don't know why we did that, but it was
wait. What do you call it in England? You don't call it a bachelorette party. What do you call it?
A hen night.
A hen night. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but this was in Canada. So that's just interesting. So in In England, it's hens and stags, a hen night and a stag night. And then in Canada, it's a stagette, a stag and a stagette. And here it's bachelor, bachelorette, right? Is that what it is? Yeah,
Yep,
it's all different.
exactly.
So I the words I just forget all the time. It's hard trying to speak 3 languages.
And they're all
3
English.
nationalities and 2 languages.
Yeah, and they're all English. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So back to the thing. You did. Well, would you say that I curled or I went curling? Like, what's the?
I would say I
What's the
went
proper-
curling. Saying I curled, that feels like I'm good as shit.
I curled. Whoa, hey.
Yeah.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
I'm sure my kids are very proud of me right now.
Yeah, I bet.
It's actually fun to do, I think, because it's like it's a bit like bowling. Like that's how when you're playing it, but you know.
So were you like the person that had to do it? Yeah, did you have to do the broom?
I have good aim. I'm actually really good at aiming. I'm good at bowling. I'm good at things like that. I'm quite accurate with stuff. So,
yeah,
no,
like when you play bags, you throw overhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my daughter has inherited the genes.
Ruby got 3. She threw 3 in the with bags. There was 3 tosses into the hole, like bang, bang, bang. It was very impressive. It was like the turkey of bags, right? So.
Yeah.
What did I just do? Did I just bump something? So back to curling. Tell me about your curling.
I wanted to know if people that think curling is awesome, if they actually play it or they just like watching it. That's my question.
Like, where do you go curl? Like, if someone had it
at a curling center.
Yeah, this is. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, or the Phoenix Metro. Like, where does one go curl around here? I mean, it's probably not.
I'm gonna guess where the ice rinks are. Like, that would be the obvious place, I would imagine.
Fair enough. Yeah, you would probably need ice, but yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. You guys have sold me. Between Thomas, Dan, and Brad, I am now curious about curling. I feel like I've shortchanged it, and
are we going to become a curling duo?
Yeah.
Is that going to be our new thing? You were talking about bowling. You were like, oh, I think we should start bowling. I was like laughing at you going, oh, you're going to have your own bowling ball in a bag and your special shoes and stuff. But like now maybe it's going to be curling.
me and some of my old softball buddies who feel like we may have softball may be behind us more in front of us. We're like, what can we do that we can still get together and have a few libations? Well, because with softball, you can't have beers while you're drinking softball, usually. But at least that's the surprise recreational campus's rule. But at least when you're bowling, it's encouraged. So you can go curling in Mesa. This is we might have to go do this. I need to.
We just had an influx of comments, like we had none, and then all of a sudden they've all come through. So, just like strangely, he's on USA team but plays for the Jets. That's all I know about hockey. Who's that? Who? I'm just looking at the comments.
Brendan thinks that I should. Okay, so now if I weren't going to be in Florida I get back. What day do I get back? I get back Wednesday, right? We'll be able to do this live. But if I weren't going to be out of town for a couple days, I might consider this, but I
think I can find you an outfit. I can find you an ice skating outfit to wear. I feel like that might be a challenge. If everyone can promise to show up next Wednesday, I will have Joe in an ice skating outfit. How about
How about this? We get 100 views. We get 100 viewers. Everyone share and like. I will wear the following week. I will wear the ice skating uniform. It's a uniform. It's
okay. You tell yourself whatever you want. I'm excited about this. I'm serious. If everyone can, if we can get another 100 followers from everybody here, sharing and everything, that'd be awesome. I'll make sure that Joe is wearing his ice skating outfit on Wednesday. We'll do a countdown. There'll be a leotard and everything, spangled.
Whoa!
I will put time in this. You're gonna wear. You have to do a twirl We want to see you in your.
Well, no.
Yes, yes. Come on.
The software would not allow for that. This background that you've so nicely created, I wouldn't be able to do all that.
Oh, you would love it.
What? How can you speak on my behalf in that way?
Or I will make a video that I will play of you in your outfit, skating around the kitchen in your socks.
Maybe we could figure out a way.
Outfit.
We could freeze over the pool, and then I could do I got some hockey skates out in the garage. We could probably work something out.
Oh, I can certainly create an outfit for you. Oh, I'm so excited.
I was going to say, this would probably be the most dedicated to something that you've been in a long time. You're like, I must win this challenge.
Yes.
You'll go to the HOA and ask who prints their little cards that they put on cars when you park in the wrong place, and be like, I need to have 1,000 cards printed up so that I can hand them out at the grocery store to watch our podcast. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I would love it.
So we'll have to negotiate terms of this. And Brendan, you can be the mediator, because this is your brainchild.
Everybody needs to submit their own photo of their own outfits that we can post on here, and we can have a little competition about which of you had the best ice skating outfit. How about that?
Oh my goodness. Is there like a Halloween costume? Is there like, I can go to like that Spirit Halloween and get like
No, it's just a costume. It's just an ice skating outfit. Spandex, latex, lycra.
Right. Yeah.
Sparkles. Bedazzled.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the sparkles. Yeah. I think that's what annoys. I was like, why do you have to wear this? Like, you guys are Olympians. Like, why do you have to wear this stuff? Like,
nice collar and some
oh my goodness. It's gonna be like a 70s
disco.
Grow
your hair
party.
out, because they will have like that long wavy hair, all the male ice skaters. You can't be doing with that.
I see. Hair. It's like the 70s disco parties, right?
Like,
it's like the big John Travolta
and flows in the wind when you skate around.
I'll have to be.
I'm so excited.
It'll be a week without product, right? So,
I'm so excited. Goodness. I think we have to build more of these challenges. The last this is like when I did my Facebook challenge during COVID, when nobody was allowed to leave the house. Everyone in the world was on lockdown for 2 weeks. And I just decided to go live and talk to all the people that were in my Facebook. And it just became this big thing every day where everybody would get drunk at 11 o'clock in the morning. And I was challenged to create an outfit and be Yoda the next day. And I did it. So now I feel
without leaving the house.
Here. Yeah, totally.
And you did it.
Awesome.
I did, yeah. I think either Gianna or Jillian has a picture of you. I think
we have, photos and footage.
I'm sure
maybe
your
I'll
girls
bring that
do
next
too.
time. Yeah.
Yoda. All right. Well, if I have to wear this ridiculous skating outfit, we're going to show the Yoda. You can be Yoda.
Excuse me.
All right. You got to have some skin in the game too. I'll be the flashy ice skating guy.
We could do a theme. You could be Princess Leia skating outfit with your little buns and sparkles and a white flowy dress and Yoda.
I got a torch that was banned, and so I bought it. It was like, these are going to be banned in the US. That could be like my lightsaber. I'm like,
yes.
You know?
Yeah,
I fell for it. It was very good marketing, because I'm kind of you tell me to not do something, I do it, unless it's the ice skating outfit. Then, but yeah, what's the goal? It has to be 100 views. And then once we get to 100 views, like live people views, but like live people, like with liking and sharing and, everyone showing up. When we get 100 live, I will.
You don't know what you're saying, do you?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, no, I have no idea. I'm on the other digital divide.
Okay, we have, I don't know, I can't see right now. I think we have like 33 subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So you have to decide, do you want subscribers? Do you want views on this video?
People that are on live. Because that's
I know, but you can't you're not going to suddenly appear in your outfit if there's 100 people on here.
Well, this is why I wish you'd listen.
Anyway.
This is why it would be great if you listen, because I said the week after, I would do it. Like, I get 100, and then that's the trigger. I got to do it. So Listening
you,
to
so you want, so you want 100 views? Is that right on our next episode? So
and it's
next
just
week.
the shirt. It's just the shirt. It's not going to be the whole like squeezy or
No.
No, I'm dictating terms.
Tights.
Wait,
Tights, leotard.
Brendan's got a picture of the COVID Yoda. So, can you? Is there a way to like share that like right now? That would be awesome.
I would if I could make this work somehow, but I don't. I'll
It'll be
probably
the
end up taking myself. I will bring my here. I'm going to write it down. I will bring my Yoda pictures for next week. I will bring those on here, and if we get to 100 viewers on our next week's show, then you are challenged that you have to come dressed up in an ice skating outfit the following week. How about that?
I mean, I think by definition, the Team USA jersey for hockey would be an ice skating shirt.
No, I don't. And I think also what we can do is have a challenge where if the US and Canada are in a hockey game, then we should clearly have forfeits for that too, because I'm Team Canada and you're Team USA. So depending on who loses and wins, I think we should have forfeits for that too.
I don't think there's a scenario, and correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you who are more informed. Is this true? I'm going to just finish my point, and we'll come back to this. Vince is saying that Canada cheated. So I want to know more about this. Is this true? But yeah, so I think, let me go back. I think the only way that Canada and Team Canada and Team USA can meet in hockey based on the brackets is for the gold. And so whoever if they meet, whoever wins would win the gold. So yes, we should have a challenge for that. And then but with this Team Canada, cheating scandal, I don't know if we can really trust it's a scandal. So Katana, do you have any thoughts on this? You're a Canadian curling fan. Any thoughts on this scandal? Do you have anything you'd like to share?
I'm just so surprised that everyone's into curling. Like, I want to know, like, what is it? What's the attraction?
I've never given it a chance, and I've never watched it. So
Is it over now? Is curling over and done with? Or is there more? We have to go watch it now. I have to go check it out. What we are addicted to right now, if nobody's seen it, is what's the show we're watching?
It's called Ozark.
Yes.
It's about a financial planner from Chicago.
His name isn't Joe, but
moves away. No.
We are hooked. Totally hooked.
I saw it all. My buddy Chris told me about it years ago when it was kind of like happening in real time.
Yeah.
And I loved it back then. I just kind of forgot all about it. And Ruby was watching it a couple weeks ago. And we just sat down like, dang, this is really good. And it's so if you guys are looking for something to binge watch, we should do that. Favorite shows to binge watch. Write that down as a show topic, because I would love that, because we're all looking for that kind of feedback, right? Ozark's not super like young kid friendly, because there's violence and adult themes, but it's
I think there were definitely 3 moments where I was like, like, what the fuck? Like, we were just like totally freaked out. I was like, that really made me jump and exclaim.
Like the one time that character showed up looking like Yoda, that was really
No, it was the 65-year-old woman with the friggin' 18-year-old guy. That's the thing that I was like, whoa.
Spoilers. Listen. We're telling people to watch.
That's a huge thing now. You know that? I know you're not on TikTok, but it's a huge thing about age gap relationships. I want to talk about that too, because it's fascinating. And there's a whole big wave of this going on TikTok right now. There's going to be a new, the show that we were, oh God, what is it? The like the blind date one, the Love is Blind.
I don't watch that. What are you talking about?
Shut up. You get hooked on it when I do. Love is Blind. Joe watches Love and Blind. Love is Blind, everyone. Joe watched it. But they're going to do one with ages. So there'll be like, I don't know what the age groups are. It's probably like 18 to 50 or 60 or something like that. And so you're dating people, but you don't know, you don't see them and you don't know how old they are. So you don't know what you're going to end up with. It's just going to be based purely on like values and connection and, you know, personality and all that kind of stuff. And so you might end up with like some old man with a young woman or an old woman with a young man or whatever. And I think that's actually going to be like peak viewing. So
sounds about right with all this Epstein stuff going on. They probably do want to push this kind of topic, huh?
Probably, yeah. There'll be a cannibalism one next.
Oh my goodness!
I shouldn't laugh about that. But, like seriously, right?
Conspiracy theorists were right, though. So yeah. Anyway,
so many things to talk about and so little time. And why is it that whenever we start to end the show, we come up with all these ideas? It must be like an hour. It takes us an hour for people to warm up and start commenting, and then we have all these great ideas. So, and on that note, as well, I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask again.
Crazy shit.
Anyone wants to, like, we have the ability to just bring people on in the middle of talking. So if you have you know, a phone or a webcam or whatever, and you got comments, you don't have to just comment in the thing. If you want to come on and talk, you can. Or if you want to be a guest and actually talk about something specific, we would love to hear from you. So, yeah, we're going to start incorporating more things. So, yeah.
Because there's only so much of us that people want to hear.
I'm sure you're probably bored of us. I mean, you're tuning in. So thanks.
This is our therapy. This is our couch time. So yeah. So with that, how about we wind it down? And I just want to thank everyone for watching, everyone for tuning in. If we do get when we get to 100 views, Kirsten and I will commit to doing. I don't know the what do we got here?
I was looking at the comments. You don't know shit about fuck Marty. It's just the best. Isn't she the best? That's for those of you that don't know, that's Ozark. It's like, it's not just me being screaming profanity, but just brilliant show. Yeah, Brendan says amazing. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? And Ruby, yeah, she said Age of Attraction. That's the show that's coming. That's like the Love Is Blind, but with age gaps. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's just, I mean, what is the line of demarcation? Like, okay, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, like when does it start getting creepy? Because to me, 40 years would be a little creepy.
For what?
Well,
when you're 40, you can't date.
No, when there's a 40-year age gap.
Oh, a 40-year, yeah, that's
like
let's assuming that everybody is over 18, so nobody is a child. So just like, because that's a whole other thing, right? But so
I'm not talking about pedophilia.
No, but everyone's over 18. So what's the creepy age gap? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. When does it gross? Yeah.
Well, 40-year age gap, yeah. Because if you're 40 and you're dating an 80-year-old, I mean, that's kind of like, I mean, it happens,
right? Well, like that Jessica, whatever her name was, with that old billionaire guy, that blonde, like Playboy bunny girl. What was her name? What was her name? Anyway, it doesn't matter now. We're trying to wind it down, but we can save this for a future episode. I think it would be interesting to make fun of it, laugh about it, but also get into the serious side of it too. And yeah.
What we can do is we can put, when that show starts, we can pull up some footage of it and or photos for anybody that's not watching it, and we can discuss it. I think that'll be awesome. Shows to binge watch, that would be great too.
Yep. Well, I don't know shit about fuck, and I just have fun doing this every week. So thanks for everyone for tuning in and for being a part of our therapy couch and bantering and having some fun along the way with us. The comments are what really are the pulse of this whole show, and and we can't do without you. So yeah, like it, share it, enjoy, and we'll be back next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel, and look forward to talking to you then. Take care.
Exactly. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you again.